Good morning, everybody. You are listening to K-Talk Radio, 1640 AM. This is the show, Utah Home Sweet Home. I am your host, Yoshi Shiraki, and our very special guest today is Tyler Tolbert. Tyler, thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you, man. This is awesome.
Yes. So I am super excited because I knew Tyler back when he was a part-time real estate guy, and today he's killing it as a real estate guy. He's full-time. And I remember, what was it, the color run?
Yep.
The color run, right?
Yep.
Yeah, so Tyler used to participate working in the color run. And I remember him telling me about it, and you had your license at one point and then let it expire. Wasn't sure if it was the career for you, then got back into it. And now you're a full-time, and guys, this is what's so cool. It's not just, not to discredit residential investors, because that's what I am, so I don't want to discredit myself.
I don't want to do that.
But Tyler is a commercial investor, so he just went big from the get-go. Most people take a minute to work their way up to commercial. Tyler didn't take a minute. He just got right to it. He did start with residential, as far as I'm aware. I think it was a fourplex, but then he just went big. A lot of people stick around the residential area for quite some time, but not Tyler. So if you guys are thinking about, gosh, man, I want to get involved in real estate. I want to quit my 9 to 5. I want to have the flexibility and freedom to hunt half the year, because that's what I feel like Tyler does, is hunt half the year. Every time I call him.
Pretty accurate, yeah.
Yeah, he's hunting. And so you're definitely going to want to listen to this story. So Tyler, if you don't mind, can you please start off by sharing a little bit about yourself and how you got into real estate? I talked a little bit already how you were in the color run, but I don't know if you want to start there or how you just kind of got into it.
Sure, yeah, well, thanks so much for having me. This is awesome, and it's always enjoyable to be around your personality and energy, Yosh.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that.
Absolutely. Well, I think it probably goes back, honestly, when I was in middle school. I read Rich Dad, Poor Dad, which seems to be the starting line for so many people. So congratulations, Robert Kiyosaki, for writing that awesome book.
No kidding.
But from pretty much there, I had known and felt like apartments and, at the time, storage units were where I ultimately wanted to end up.
Oh.
So going from there, I opened multiple small businesses through high school, did a lot of things, failed miserably, pretty much at all of them. And then I was really fortunate I read another book, and they said to seek out local RIAs.
Okay.
So I started going to the local RIA here is SLRIA, which is the Salt Lake Real Estate Investors Association. And from there, that was probably the single largest catalyst that got me going into real estate.
Gotcha.
Was the people I met there, the lessons I learned there, and ultimately the connections that
That's where we met too.
That's where we met.
Yeah.
Yep. Case in point, right?
Right. Right. So many of our friends that you and I socialize with today, we met there.
Yeah. A lot of them.
Yeah, you're a good friend with Nap Borchers.
Yes.
And Nap Borchers, for those of you who know the name, but for those of you who don't know the name, he was on the Real soccer team, won the championship with Real Soccer, got traded to Portland Timbers, won it for Portland Timbers, and now he's the announcer for Portland Timbers. So.
Yeah. Well, and when I had met Nat, I did not a big sports guy. He told me he was an athlete, and I said, "Oh, that's cool. What do you do?" And he says, "Oh, I play soccer." And being totally ignorant, I said, "Oh, that's awesome. For what team?"
Yeah,
He says, "Well, the only team you have in Utah." I said, "Fair enough."
I was thinking Little League.
Yeah, well, I actually, following that, I did my first wholesale deal, was to Nat, and I negotiated in season tickets.
Nice.
Yeah, so that was the kickoff to my soccer involvement.
Wow, that's cool. And
Yeah.
and I'm not a huge sports guy anymore. I used to be. So when I met him, I didn't follow Real Soccer at the time, and so I had no idea who he was either. And someone was friends with him, just at the RIA. I got to be friends with him, and someone was like, "Dude, do you watch Real Soccer?" And I was like, "No, why?" And they're like, "Well, that's Nap Borchers." I'm like, "Well, what does that mean?" Like,
Yeah.
I know it's Nap Borchers.
Yeah.
And they're like, "He plays for Real." I'm like, "Oh, didn't know." And then we went all the time.
All the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I found it was definitely easier to be enthusiastic and involved when you personally know the people
Yes.
on the battlefield.
Yes.
After Nat left, it was kind of,
Yes.
my involvement was pretty diminished.
I agree. Yeah,
Unfortunately, because it was a lot of fun.
Right, exactly. I was bummed when he got traded. Awesome. All right. Speaking of, Nat's going to be on the show sometime in November, I think.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, he couldn't commit to a hard date because he's announcing for the Timbers right
He's
now.
famous, man.
Exactly.